literally the first question on here, and don't worry, I'm going to keep this PG, says, maybe this is too explicit, but how do you keep things spicy in the bedroom after baby? What's up, guys? It's Jamie. You guys, welcome to part 2 of my mom life Q&A, motherhood Q&A. You guys had a lot of questions. These are the Instagram questions, so they're anonymous. And I said I was going to keep it PG because I'm actually not really going to answer that question. Even though if you were like my real life friend, I don't know the girl that asked that question. If you were my real life friend, I would be like, girl, let's go to lunch. You know. That's just not a question that I want to answer in front of a bunch of strangers. But I will say that there are some like resources, like marriage resources that have really encouraged both Aaron and I. Also not even just on the level of like physical intimacy, but just like some really encouraging Instagrams and courses and Bible studies, because I really love that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna put some links down below if you are married or you're like about to get married and you need some like resources. But I'm not gonna like talk about that. Even though like, yeah, like I said, if you're one of my real life friends, I'd be like, we need to talk. Okay, so next couple of questions. What was your favorite and least favorite part of your birthing story? Man, we're going deep. I haven't really looked at these just yet. Like I've skimmed them. Favorite part of my birthing story, I will say that I enjoyed more things than I didn't enjoy, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, it was really challenging for sure, but it was, you know, for the entirety of pregnancy, giving birth was my favorite part. So there were just so many things I liked. I mean, I just got a lot of time with Aaron. Like, we were just hanging out. You know, I was in labor for 5 to 12 years. And so we've got to hang out, watch a lot of shows. I mean, it is painful. The recovery. That's actually what I'll say. The recovery of having a baby, like the physical recovery. Because like for me, like when I was giving birth, like once she was out, I mean, it's like you're holding a baby. It's awesome. But like that recovery, like when it's just like when the baby is asleep and your husband's asleep or at work, and it's just like you laid in bed and you know, it's like waking up in the morning thinking about so many things. It's not a pleasant feeling. Like anywhere. What's been your favorite first that Bella has had? Oh my gosh. I can't even think of a favorite, but I can. Her favorite joke that she ever made consciously. She was 10 or 11 months old. And we have it on video. I really do believe she could be a comedian. She did something funny, not realizing it was funny, and then we laughed and she looked at us like, am I funny? And then she made another joke. It was great. Hey, babe. He is about to take her to my parents for her sleepover. I really love her. Really grateful for this sleepover. I'm so tired. Is it less or more difficult than you thought? Let's see. All of the above. I mean, this is gonna sound like such a I just am trying to get out of the question, but like let's just be real. I'm raising a child, my first child, in the middle of a pandemic. I've heard so many moms like say to moms in similar situations that I'm in of like, this is not what it will always be like. Like you will look back on this and it won't be anything like what most moms have gone through. And so that's a lot of, it's just like hard to even figure out an answer because you're just like, I don't even know what motherhood is supposed to be. Like what's going on? Hello! Oh, I didn't know you were naked, baby. She won't be making a cameo. Do you think motherhood affects your mental state? I think everything affects our mental state, and I think that every person should have someone wiser and older than them that can pour into their lives and speak into their lives. And for me, I'm very privileged that I have family and friends, but I also have a licensed therapist, and I think that's really important. One of the hardest things is asking for help and then accepting that help. You know, it's like some people, I understand some people really like, I have to understand that when I speak about this kind of stuff, I come from an immense amount of privilege in that the relationship that I have with my mom and dad is not what everybody has with their mom and dad. With a lot of both physical and emotional closeness with my family. But also, you have to not only like ask for help, but you have to seek that help. And I don't like, yeah, I don't like hearing this word, but it can oftentimes, especially for moms, and just want you guys to know, like, this can be it can be a pride issue of just like, only I can do it, I'm the only one that can make it happen, like, yada yada. And so we have to be willing to make sacrifices to go out and seek that help and ask for that help. I mean, that's applicable in literally any scenario in life, because we were not meant to do this alone. And the more we act like we are, the more we will be alone and miserable. And that's not the vibe. Protect the vibe, man. Somebody said, any pointers to stop morning sickness? Oh my goodness, I went through all that. Erin found me these things called Preggy Pops. I will Amazon link them down below. I love me some Amazon. That is like the only thing I can recommend, because like I pretty much just like didn't eat. Well, you know what? Actually, I will give you more advice. Don't feel guilty about what you can eat if that's a part of your morning sickness, because for me it was like I couldn't eat anything but like occasionally things that weren't super healthy, and I got so insecure about that, and I would feel so inadequate. You know, I remember I was actually buying something in the store and the clerk made a comment about how it wasn't healthy, and it just made me feel like I was just like feeding my child like whatever. But it's like, literally there comes a point for a lot of pregnant women where if I don't eat this, I won't be eating at all. And so talk to your doctor, get you a supportive doctor, supportive village, because like, boo, eat what you gotta eat. So is it hard to value your own time while being a mom? Yeah, I mean, that's something that, you know, I'm still learning and figuring out. Like, I do value being alone. That's before pregnancy, before marriage. Like, I know that I present as like the most like blah 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 blah, but it's because I charge. Like, I'm at 100% right now because I didn't talk to anybody for a significant portion of this week. So that's how this works. And so I do value my alone time. It's hard to get it the way that I used to. But if you check out my Finding Quiet, you'll find like different resources for like how to like find that peace and find that quiet, even when you can't necessarily get alone, get by yourself. And like actually silence stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, so there's that. Have you always dreamt of being a mom since I was 7 years old, if not younger? What's one thing you thought you knew about raising a kid that you realized you had no idea? So she's not like a baby anymore, but I think that I knew that I was not wildly equipped in like baby stuff, like under 11 months old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I knew that I wasn't wildly equipped, but I didn't realize how hard that was going to be. Sorry, I just got a text from my manager, asked me to resend an email about last night for stuff for tomorrow for a school that I'm singing at. So yeah, I think that was the hardest thing for me, is that I knew like having like a baby was gonna be hard, but like once like she was like at the house and like this whole like, hey guys, like I'm not really into sleeping, like, and then when I started like when the postpartum depression hit, it was different. It was different. So I'm grateful for my village, for my therapist, and for my husband. My husband, he was a daycare teacher, so he had way more experience with that under 9 months. Like he was like, oh, this, that, swaddle, do, da. So I'm grateful. It was a huge blessing and still is. But I feel like this age group, like, I mean, this is the age group that I taught for the longest time. So like, or age that I taught. So yeah. When did you start homeschooling? When I was pregnant, literally, I was like, A is for apple. B, like, literally when I was pregnant. Let's see. These are some heavy questions. Not heavy, just like questions that I feel like I'll answer that'll take me like 3 hours. How do you know you wanted to be a mom? I mean, as far as just like the longevity of my life, I was just like, I would like to be a mom, like as soon as possible. I think it was just something natural in me. I don't think that everybody has that same inclination, and so I don't like to put that pressure on other people. Like when I see like a little girl that's like playing with a baby doll, it's like, yeah, she could be a really good mom someday. She could also be a really good nurse or a really good aunt. You know what I mean? No. Or a really good doctor, or like, you don't know what I mean? It's okay. You're literally a child. So I don't like to put that pressure on other people. Like, oh yeah, well, I knew that I wanted to be a mom when I was 7, and I knew that I wanted to be a wife when I was in college studying the Bible. So you need to get it together. Do you have a favorite book? I love how I'm reading a question about a book and I can't pronounce the word book. Do you have a favorite book we read together? I'm not going to say the names of them because then we'll end up reading them, and I would love to go read books right now, but I really would also like to get this video done. Wait. So there's a place that we like to eat. It's called Chick-fil-A. So if you take that first syllable and double it, and then you add a at the end of each of those syllables, and then like a sound of a really loud fart or an explosion. Figure it out in the comments, but that's like, she hasn't memorized. That's like her vibe. When is Bella going to get a skateboard? This is from a thing I was talking about on Instagram the other day. I want her to have one ASAP, but we're going to work on balance a little bit. She starts gymnastics this week, and so that is our first like activity. We really want to get her on basketball, ballet, tap dancing, African dancing. There's so much we want her to get, do and try. She has a bicycle or a tricycle right now. But we're going to wait on a skateboard until she's a little bit older, a little bit more balance and coordination, but not too much older. Like, I mean, when I say older, I mean like 6 years old. I'd be totally in support of her having a skateboard. How has your sleep schedule changed? It changes every minute. Favorite Coco Melon song? Okay. I don't know if Coco Melon is watching. She used to see their videos sometimes on like YouTube Kids and things like that. They've been blocked in our house. And I don't make that face in a shameful way. I hate making negative comments, but while I was filming, Bella decided that she wanted to make her own vlog, and then it turned into a coloring tutorial. Then Aaron came in, then it turned into who could pick on me the most and like be me, as far as like making my YouTube videos. So I'm gonna upload that at a later date. I kind of remember what I was talking about. I remember that I was kind of panicky because I was like, I don't want to be negative, because I don't like to be negative, but I do like to be honest. And even though there are so many fun YouTube videos and songs out there, and even some fun things in Coco Melon, it just wasn't great for us because Bella, like, I don't want her watching anything for like entertainment purposes, where the kids are saying like, no, I don't want this. And I just didn't like the way, neither Aaron or myself liked the way the children were talking to the parent. The child was talking to the parent, and then the lack of intentional response from the parent. And like, I mean, if she has friends that she's around, or, kids, play dates, all this kind of thing, like, that's a different situation. But when we're talking about like behavioral stuff within, like, for entertainment value, it's not going to be a kid that's not respectful to their parents. And I know a lot of people might think that I'm being very dramatic about that, and I think that that's really cool that you have an opinion, and so congratulations. But that's just not our vibe. When it comes to discipline, we don't necessarily have we don't have like a specific group of anything really. That I'm not like farting or tooting or whatever. That was my foot on the chair. We don't have like a specific like method or something like that we follow. I said this a little bit in the last video, but my bachelor's in child and youth development. I worked with a lot of children under the age of 13, mostly from trauma backgrounds. Aaron was a daycare teacher. I feel very blessed that both of my parents are just, incredible humans. My mom is technically a parenting expert. She's done this for a long time. They've fostered and parented a lot of children. And so Aaron and I feel very well equipped in the area of discipline and parenting, but also we have a great village around us as well. And so we're just really grateful for that. I know that because I got a lot of questions about discipline, like a lot. And I especially got a lot of questions about spanking and like, do you spank or is spanking bad? And the reason why I'm not going to even answer any of those questions is because I don't want it to distract from, I feel like I look so short. I don't want it to distract from what I actually do want to talk about. I know that a lot of times once you find out if somebody feels this way or another, then it's like, oh, like, okay, we can't listen to them anymore, or like none of what they have. So it's a messy topic. And if I were being paid by you guys to give parenting advice, that'd be different. But I don't know most of y'all like that. So I can skip over topics if I feel like it. But what I will say is that we we think it's so important that we really look at like the root cause of why, like what's up, if that makes sense, and then we respond appropriately to that, right? Now don't get me wrong, if a kid is like, you know, screaming and hollering because they're tired, we're not going to be like, oh, they're tired, they're alone. We're more than likely not going to just let that fly. But what I'm getting at is like, man, if I think I actually said this in part one, but if Isabella is fussy and if she's upset, she's overwhelmed, man, let's take last Christmas, for example, because Erin and I have her way off schedule because she is a little child and we have her off schedule because of what we wanted to do, because we wanted to look at Christmas lights, because we wanted to do some last minute shopping, because we wanted to do XYZ. Her dinner schedule's off, and then she ends up like turning up because she's upset about something. We're going to approach that in a different way than if it's just a regular old Tuesday and she wants fruit snacks and I said no. And so that's one main thing, is like we just try to make sure that we are, yes, expecting things out of her that she is capable of, but making sure that we're also doing our part. I feel like that's something that we've learned in marriage as well, is like, you know, expecting things of your spouse by way of like, you know, you share your needs with your spouse and you hope that they're like, you know, like loving it on like kisses and cuddles and all these things, but like also like, okay, like how am I contributing? You know what I mean? So that's one, not really a clear line as far as discipline, but that is one kind of thing that has just helped us extend a lot of grace to her, especially because she's a year and a half or almost 2. And so that's helped us extend a lot of grace. I will also say, this is not me saying this as a giddy mom, but this is an actual thing that like multiple like doctors and specialists have told us, but Bella is very much advanced. And so we have a little bit of a unique situation in that, you know, from 9-10 months old, she could communicate what she wanted and what she didn't want. And she understood, you know, and a lot of kids are this way at that age, but you know, she understood the tone, and when we would say not a good idea, Bella, or that's a good choice and things like that. With that being said, one of the main things is communication, and it's understanding, okay, what is my kid capable of communicating and how am I going to hold them to that standard, no matter how much grace and patience, you know what I mean? Like, so for example, Bella knows how to say please, she knows how to say thank you, she knows how to say no thank you, she knows how to say I'll get it, she knows how to say help please if something on her iPad has just gone awry, or awry, yeah. And so if she gets upset with her iPad and she hits her iPad and starts screaming at it, that's unacceptable. And I know some people might be like, she's 1 year old, like what do you mean that's unacceptable? Based on our child's level of development, she knows that if she screams and hollers, that's unacceptable. But the thing is that unacceptable doesn't mean that we take her iPad and scream at her like, how darest thou? Like, that's not what it means. Unacceptable means that we try to start as minimal as possible. So I try to just start with a look. It worked for me growing up. I'll just look at her like, no, you didn't. And she usually will correct herself. If she doesn't, then I'll say something like, Isabella, was that kind? Or I'll look at Erin like, You hearing what I'm hearing? And he'll say something like, or I'll say something like, hey, was that kind? Or use your words. Usually she responds very well to that, of like, okay, clearly that wasn't okay.
Again, I just want to reiterate that so much of this is based off of where Isabella is developmentally. And I also know that a really popular practice within the parenting space is redirection. And we kind of support that. Like, we're not really interested in if she is on the turn up and acting in a way that she knows is not appropriate. We don't just take her and give her another toy. That's not how we operate. We make sure that she understands that it wasn't okay and why she's getting that one toy that she was playing with taken away from her. For example, her iPad or something like that. I guess what I'm trying to say is we're very pro like being positive. I know there's actually a thing called positive parenting, but we're also not interested in her understanding that things are unacceptable and then getting away with them just for the sake of trying not to use words like don't and no. Like that's just not our vibe, man.
We try to express to her as much as we possibly can that it's okay for her to feel whatever it is that she needs to feel. She knows how to express when she's happy or sad or scared. She talks a lot about a doctor's appointment that she had about a month and a half ago. She'll be like, "Doctor, I was scared." She does that a lot. So she knows how to communicate that to us. And so we want her to know, like, you can feel happy, you can feel sad, you can feel angry, you can feel, I don't think she knows confused, but she knows like 5 or 6 different feelings or emotions. You can feel however you need to feel, but we want to give you the tools to express yourself in a way that is appropriate. There's a YouTube channel that we love called Super Simple Songs, but they have this one song that says, if you're angry and you know it, stamp your feet. And that's not the method that we operate by in this home. You don't stomp your feet when you're angry. You can be as angry as you need to be, but you gonna breathe. Or you're gonna go sit by yourself for a little while. Like, that's not going to fly. I feel like a lot of times the conversation is like, okay, well, what extreme are you? You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, do you let your kids scream in your house? I don't let my kids scream in the house. I'm like, well, actually, if I tell Isabella no more iPad because it's time to go to bed, I don't want her to scream. That would be a poor choice. So no, I get down on my knees, face. We do some breathing. It works sometimes it doesn't. But also, if we go get ice cream and she drops it on the ground and she falls out because she dropped her ice cream on the ground, I might fall out with her because that's sad. You see what I mean? I'm not going to encourage her to fall out, but I guess what I'm saying is, like, we're not really extremists of like, oh, you can't scream and you can't cry. It's like, no, we want you to learn how to express yourself appropriately, but we don't want to harbor your really, really big feelings when you have this really, really small body that doesn't understand these really, really big feelings. So we're going to try our hardest to give you these tools to, like, take the next steps and be a great human.
Because yes, we're raising a child, but one day she's going to be a preteen, one day a young adult, one day a grown woman. And we want her to know that if you're mad at mom and dad, if you're mad at your boss, if you're mad at your professor, you can feel how you need to feel, but you also need to learn how to operate in a way that is appropriate and not just for the sake of other people, but for the sake of yourself as well. We like to talk a lot using words from the Bible. So we do use words like self-control and long-suffering, words that are biblical because that's just our foundation. And so it's important to us that those principles are not just things that are implemented in Bible stories, but in our everyday actions as well.
I could seriously sit here and talk about parenting and discipline all day because I've only scratched the surface of, like, things I want to say and things that I feel. I mean, I'm only talking about stuff that Aaron and I have really only figured out for our daughter as a 1.5-year-old. Even when it comes to, like, hanging out with older kids, like, there's so much that I want to say and so much I want to share. So I'll just have to keep doing videos like these. I'm so, like, honored and blessed that y'all are enjoying, like, family life content on this channel. So I'll keep doing more videos like these as time goes on. But if I try to, like, I think this video is already like 20 minutes long, so I'm not gonna probably keep talking about discipline, but I could, but I probably won't. What's one thing about yourself that you can see in Bella? Bella has my personality, but she has my adult personality. Like she is she acts just like me. It is astonishing. It is there's so many times where my sister will text me and be like, or we'll be on FaceTime and she'll just be like, that literally was you, or like it happens with everybody in my life. They do it all the time when we're on FaceTime, when we're in person together. Everybody has moments where they're just like, this is literally Jamie. My parents call her by my name by mistake all the time, which I think is just a, an old people thing. But but yeah, guys, that is like the most, it's amazing and creepy and amazing and so cool. One thing that she does, well, I talked about this in the last video, I keep doing this, but that I never taught her how to do was like coloring on my notes and like coloring on, like this is her artwork that she did tonight while she was sitting in my lap, which I've always colored on my mom's like notes and her office work and everything. And it's just little things like that that like my mom always supported me doing, like things that I think a lot of other parents would be like, don't write on mom's work, but it's like, why not? Like, she's not writing on anything important. It's a blank sheet of paper. I let her color on my desk. Why? Because it's cool and this is the studio and you're supposed to be creative in here. It's not like I'm a lawyer at a huge firm and it would offend the court. You know what I mean? And so my mom just always like gave me so much freedom to be and to be a kid, and to be loud and goofy and silly. And so, I hope that a lot of the reason why Bella acts so much like me is because I act so much like my mom. Like, that's what I hope, is that I'm just festering, like, or I guess like welcoming, like, that I am like this inviting presence of just like, just be what you need to be, My brother-in-law and I, we do pickups. I don't do drop-offs for like when the kids go to my parents' house because I'm too emotional. But if she cries for 0.1 seconds, I'm messed up for the day. But my brother-in-law and I, we do pickups. And if I walk into the house and he's already there, he's laid out on the couch eating some snacks. If he walks into the house and I'm already there, I'm laid out on the couch eating snacks. That is the presence in which my parents have in their home. It is this, I don't care if you're my biological child. I don't care if you're my in-law. I don't care if you're a random person from Texas. Actually, no random people go to my parents' house, but they don't care. They're just like, if you are human and you are in need of a couch or a place to sing or a listening ear to ramble off this new idea or food from the fridge, like whatever it is, just come here and just get it. And so that's really something that Aaron and I really strive to be. He was an athlete growing up, and his parents were like always like he tells me how it was like the athlete home, like the team home, or I don't know how athletics people do it. What, all the players like go out for like bagel bites at one person's house, that whole thing. And he was saying like his family, his mom and dad are like, the team family, if that makes sense. And so that's something that we both have or had and have. And so, we really try to fester that. I don't know why I keep saying the word fester, but we really try to create that presence in our own home. And I think it's working. I think it's a lot of nature and nurture, and that Bella is just becoming me because I'm becoming my mom. And I'm really cool with that. Like, it makes me very happy. This one girl, Miracle Mosier, I'm not sure how to say that, but she said also, not a question, but you're so pretty and I grew up listening to you and you inspire me. I know that was supposed to be anonymous, but that was really nice, so I said her name anyway. That was really sweet. Thank you so much. Does Bella know how awesome her mom is? That's really sweet. She is obsessed with my YouTube videos. She will kiss my face on the TV, the iPad, if she's watching videos. But if I'm singing those same songs in person, she's cool about it. But if I were to play it on my phone and sing it along to my phone, she'd be like, "Mama, mama," like mama is singing. So but she also doesn't have a full concept of Jamie Grace. That's another topic for another day. We'll figure that out. This is the jankiest video because I ran out of space on my laptop, on my camera. What I was saying is that we'll figure it out as time goes on, like if she cares about
like what to what level she's, what is that? Oh, that's a video I sent Morgan of her playing guitar. To what extent she cares about like Jamie Grace at like my concerts and shows and stuff. That's what I was trying to get at. Bruh, I'm just rambling at this point. Thank you guys for sending all these questions in. Like I said, it's like really a huge honor. It's really sweet to me that you guys like want to know like more about my family and stuff. We have our family channel, or like Aaron and Jamie Grace channel. We randomly post stuff on there, but I've been posting more on here. Oh, look at that brow. Oh my goodness. I've been posting more stuff on here. And it's just really cool that you guys like want to see family stuff. I'm always like, oh no, they're gonna get mad at me if it's not a song. But I'm gonna be real with you guys. I'm stepping into this freedom from the Lord that says, I ain't got time to be worried if y'all gonna get mad if it ain't no song, because I was busy changing the pull-up. I ain't got time to record no songs right now. But anyways, subscribe, all that stuff. I'm gonna make more songs at some point. I have a new video coming out about that soon. But y'all, can we tell I had caffeine today? No, I didn't. This is just me, South. Be yourself. This is me. Click the screen to subscribe. Oh my gosh.
Because we stuck together.